This is Mac OS Ken.
Dumb news around the dumb lawsuit, a final warning on Apple Home architecture, and a ton of Apple TV announcements. It is Wednesday, the 4th of February, 2026. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken. Brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by NordLayer. Secure your network, block threats to your business, and save with offer code MacOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Remember the lawsuit Twitter AI brought against Apple and OpenAI over their association? How does it end up that Twitter AI is the one accused of destroying evidence? 9to5Mac says Elon Musk's AI company has been repeatedly accused of conducting phishing expeditions and requesting disproportionate amounts of documents, many of which seem to have no relation to the complaint. Just a couple of weeks ago, the piece says a U.S. court rejected Twitter AI's request to see source code from OpenAI after concluding that OpenAI's source code is not relevant to plaintiffs' claims and is not within the scope of discovery. People who have listened to this show for the past 2 decades know how little patience I have with frivolous lawsuits. Courts are meant for justice, not to be used as a cudgel. That's what cudgels are for. The 9to5Mac piece had word of even more attempted overreach by Twitter AI. That is not my assessment, it was the court's. Let's get to the part, though, where they stand accused of destroying evidence. According to the report, OpenAI is accusing Twitter AI of directing employees to use ephemeral messaging tools that auto-delete texts and documents. Because nothing says we're acting above board like, hey, make sure nobody can ever see this, okay? 9to5Mac says OpenAI is also accusing Twitter AI of withholding documents, stating that Musk's company has not produced a single non-public document concerning the substance of their allegations or that OpenAI could use in its defense, and that plaintiffs have produced no emails, no text messages, no Signal messages, and no Twitter chat messages of any kind. See, they're kind of required to produce those by law. Both sides are compelled to hand over internal communications that may be relevant to either side as part of discovery. According to OpenAI's accusation, according to a piece from Bloomberg, communications about every aspect of Twitter AI's business, including matters highly relevant to this case, have been routed through these message destruction tools, even as the company knew they were planning to sue and were under a legal duty to preserve. Destroying evidence was the whole point, and it leaves OpenAI and the other targets of Musk's litigation at an inequitable disadvantage. The 9to5Mac piece says failure to save and share as part of discovery can lead to court sanctions, including penalties. How many billions do you think those penalties would have to be, though, to scare the richest person on the planet? You know, it's starting to sound like this was just the Twitterati using the courts as a cudgel and using them poorly. We live in the darkest, dumbest timeline. Okay, really, seriously, really, this time, HomeKit users, you need to upgrade your Apple Home architecture. We recapped this soap opera last month. It was back in 2022 that Apple rolled out a new architecture for its Apple Home platform, according to a piece from Mac Rumors, that was supposed to deliver improved performance and compatibility. Instead, it kind of borked some stuff, forcing Apple to pull and later re-release the update. The re-release went fine, but a lot of people didn't make the switch since the deadline for updating wasn't until the fall of 2025. Then it got pushed back until the 10th of February, 2026, which is a week from yesterday. Now a piece from Mac Rumors has Apple sending out a final warning. Really, seriously, really this time, HomeKit users, you need to upgrade your Apple Home architecture. According to the report, Apple says users who do not upgrade may experience issues with accessories and automations or lose access to their smart home in the app entirely. In addition, users who do not upgrade will miss out on newer features like robot vacuum cleaner support, and they won't receive important security fixes and performance improvements. The email includes instructions on how to upgrade the Home app on iPhone, iPad, and the Mac. Pay attention to it, otherwise it could be curtains for your automatic curtains. With seemingly constant news of designers leaving Apple, a designer of note is joining the Cupertino company. 9to5Mac ran a piece last week that had Halide and Lux co-founder and designer Sebastian DeWitt announcing a new gig with Apple's human interface design team. Something of a return for the designer. DeWitt did freelance work for Apple on such projects as MobileMe, iCloud, and Find My. He's done design work for other tech giants as well, including HP, Mozilla, Oracle, and Sony. From the people who brought you I Remember 5 Minutes Ago, Apple Music Replay 2026 has gone live. As in previous years, says a piece from Mac Rumors, Replay 2026 ranks your most played songs on Apple Music from 1 to 100, updating weekly as your listening habits evolve throughout the year. You might be able to find it by going to the Apple Music app, hitting the Home tab, then scrolling down to the Replay Your Top Music section. If you don't find it there, it may not have populated yet, or you might not have listened to enough music. It is also available through Apple Music for the web, according to the report. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, NordLayer, a toggle-ready network security platform built for today's business. Strengthening security for your business may seem overwhelming. Where do you even start? Start with NordLayer. $8 per user per month. NordLayer combines VPN, access control, and threat protection in one easy-to-use platform, and it all starts at $8 per user per month. And it keeps getting stronger. They've partnered with CrowdStrike to bring Falcon endpoint protection to small and mid-sized businesses. That's your business getting enterprise-grade security that, yes, is still simple to deploy and manage and still starts at just $8 per user per month. Though there are special rates for teams with 100 seats or more. Whatever the size of your business, NordLayer is ready to meet your security needs with step-by-step onboarding and 24/7 support. Oh, and an exclusive offer for you. Get up to 22% off NordLayer yearly plans, plus 10% on top of that with offer code MacOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSKen. Try it risk-free with their 14-day money-back guarantee. NordLayer, toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code MacOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSKen. Yesterday was a gigantic day for Apple TV news. A piece from 9to5Mac says the Cupertino streamer hosted a 2026 Apple TV Press Day in Santa Monica, California, teasing what's ahead for the streaming service for the full year. Several celebrities were said to be on hand, including His High Holiness John Hamm, Anya Taylor-Joy, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Garner, Keanu Reeves, James Marsden, and others. Members of the cast of The Studio were scheduled for the event, though they pulled out last week after the death of cast member Catherine O'Hara. As for what was promoted, the second season of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters has graduated from teaser to trailer. You can catch the trailer on YouTube. The Titans return to Apple TV on Friday, the 27th of February. Imperfect Women got a new teaser ahead of its premiere on the 18th of March. The psychological thriller series examines a crime that shatters the lives of a decades-long friendship of 3 women, played by Elizabeth Moss, Kerry Washington, and Kate Mara. You can catch the teaser on YouTube. The Season 2 trailer for Your Friends and Neighbors was shown, with Apple making a thing of the early Season 3 renewal. Season 2 starts on Friday the 3rd of April. The trailer's up now on YouTube. Outcome is a new dark comedy film directed by Jonah Hill and starring Keanu Reeves. A piece from Apple Insider says Reeves stars as Reef Hawk, a beloved Hollywood actor compelled to atone for his past after a mysterious extortion video surfaces. Along with his lifelong best friends Kyle and Xander, he sets out to make amends with anyone he could have wronged, hoping to identify the blackmailer. It's got a cast that can't stop, won't stop. Keanu Reeves leads, with Jonah Hill both directing and acting. Other actors include Cameron Diaz, Matt Bomer, Martin Scorsese, Susan Lucci, Laverne Cox, David Spade, Roy Wood Jr., and more. The film was written by Ezra Woods and, shocker, Jonah Hill. Straight to streaming for this one. Apple Insider says Outcome will make its global debut on Apple TV on Friday, the 10th of April. Apple Insider dropped in quick hits on a few titles, including Margot's Got Money Troubles. Elle Fanning, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Nick Offerman star in the comedic family drama about a college dropout, a Hooters waitress, and an ex-pro wrestler, as Margot makes her way with a new baby and mounting bills. Appropriately, Margot's Got Money Troubles is set to hit Apple TV on Wednesday, the 15th of April. 2 weeks later, Apple TV heads to Widow's Bay. Matthew Reese is that town's mayor, a town that holds an ominous secret. The Cupertino streamer arrives in Widow's Bay on Wednesday, the 29th of April. Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed is a comedic thriller series starring Tatiana Maslany. A press release on that says the show follows a newly divorced mom as she falls down a dangerous rabbit hole of blackmail, murder, and youth soccer. Convinced she's witnessed a crime, while simultaneously struggling through a custody battle and an identity crisis, she begins her own investigation, one that could unravel a greater conspiracy, while also holding the keys to rebuilding her family and sense of self. Apple TV offers Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed on Wednesday, the 20th of May. Cape Fear is getting a limited series treatment. Executive produced by Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg, 9 to 5 Mac has the series starring Amy Adams and Javier Bardem. The psychological thriller starts its run on Friday, the 5th of June. Announced late last week, it is the return of the LA-based neo-noir private detective series Sugar. Apple TV made that announcement in a press release. In Season 2, John Sugar, played by Colin Farrell, tracks the troubled older brother of an up-and-coming local boxer as his search for his beloved missing sister continues. As the investigation expands into a citywide conspiracy with sinister intentions, Sugar must reckon with himself to answer the question, how far will he go to do what's right? They'll pour some sugar on Apple TV beginning Friday, the 19th of June. Lucky is coming to Apple TV on the 15th of July. Describing the Anya Taylor-Joy-led limited series, a press release from Apple says, when a multi-million-dollar heist goes sideways, con artist Lucky is forced to go on the run. Pursued by both the FBI and a ruthless crime boss, Lucky must fight for her life and a way out. You can catch a teaser for Lucky on YouTube. The Dink is a new comedy feature about a washed-up tennis player who hates yet eventually falls in love with pickleball. Jake Johnson, Mary Steenburgen, and Ed Harris star. Other cast members include Andy Roddick, Patton Oswalt, Chloe Feynman, Chris Parnell, Aaron Chen, and Ben Stiller. Apple TV serves the Dink on Friday, the 24th of July. Mayday cast Ryan Reynolds and Kenneth Branagh in a Cold War buddy comedy. The movie sees a hotshot U.S. Navy pilot caught behind enemy lines, discovered by an ex-KGB agent with a penchant for American culture. Apple TV sends up the Mayday on the 4th of September. Matchbox, the movie, is a movie. Undercover CIA agent John Cena drags his childhood friends into a frantic international pursuit to save the world. What do we think? Toy Story meets Fast and Furious, maybe? We'll find out on the 9th of October. And finally, Way of the Warrior Kid has a decorated Navy SEAL, played by Chris Pratt, helping a kid deal with bullies without fighting them. That's set to premiere on the 20th of November, just in time for the holidays. He said in February. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by NordLayer, toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code macOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macOSKen.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Leonard likes this post.